I have Mr. Joel Jack joining us via Skype this morning. Mr. Jack, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Rishi.
How are you this morning, sir?
I am great. How are you?
I am all right. I am all right. I want to get your initial thoughts on the budget. What can we expect? What do you expect?
Well, before we get into the budget, let me join with all of Trinidad and Tobago in extending condolences to the family and the Pan fraternity with respect to the passing of Professor Fillmore. And he was a cultural icon, and he was really a game changer in the cultural fraternity. So we join with all of Trinidad and Tobago in the passing of Professor Fillmore. But Rishi, staying on point as we treat with the budget, let me say that I anticipate that Tobago will be treated fairly, consistent with the support that we have been given from the Minister of Finance since he came into office in 2015. The minister has set a very welcoming precedent by allocating to Tobago budgetary resources above the 4.03 minimum as outlined by the Dispute Resolution Commission. In the past, we have been allocated resources of approximately 4.4% of the aggregate budget figure. This year again, while my budget estimate requested some in the vicinity of approximately $5 billion or so, we understand the challenges of the Minister of Finance, and as it relates to the economy, with respect to the favorable turnaround in the national economy, while the figures may not reflect the total sum of $5 billion, I anticipate that the minister, following the precedent that was set, would give Tobago a favorable budgetary support of over 4.03%.
So that is something that the THA will be looking for. But what else can we expect? What is Tobago planning to do with this money, if they say get the over 4.03%?
Well, when you disaggregate the figures, Rishi, the challenge for Tobago has always been to fund our public sector investment program. We have approximately received 15 to 20% of what we have requested annually. And that shortfall has really shackled the Tobago House of Assembly in terms of advancing the island's development. So beyond the numbers, what we are looking for primarily is for the minister in his budget presentation to outline support for the Tobago House of Assembly to engage in what I would call alternative financing mechanisms beyond the traditional budgetary support. So again, we would be receive the necessary support to engage in bond financing, raising money on the open market, as well as engaging in PPPs to advance a number of programs, for example, housing, the tourism sector, advancing our infrastructure program, and really ramping up our public sector investment program. Additionally, what Tobago is seeking to do as well is to increase our contribution to national economic activity and to play a more meaningful role as it relates to economic diversification. And in this context, the tourism sector comes into play.
Yeah, and Mr. Jack, I wanted to get into that. What can we expect as it relates to tourism? Because Tobago depends on tourism a lot. And what do you want to see happen for tourism?
Well, coming out of the budget, I anticipate that the minister would outline in greater detail two marquee projects or two game changer projects for Tobago. First would be the Sandals project. Now that project will revolutionize the tourism industry, and we call it a game changer for Tobago, and it's anticipated that between 750 or 800 room hotel will be constructed on the Old Buku estate. During the construction phase, we anticipate significant employment generation. Additionally, we anticipate as well when the project is completed, employment of over 1,500 persons. The potential to be beyond employment, but to earn foreign exchange and to really contribute to national economic diversification. I think this project is a game changer, not only for Tobago,
right,
but for the national economy. Additionally, the minister would, I believe, outline in some detail how we would advance the construction of the Crown Point Airport, the new
Mr.
Crown
Jack,
Point Airport terminal.
You talk about the Sandals project and also this other initiative that you expect the minister to address, but one of the concerns is that of the air bridge and the sea bridge. And if you don't get that properly operational, you know, how can we really promote tourism?
No, well, I think that has been in the news somewhat, and the recent announcements by the Prime Minister, and given coming out of his recent trip to Australia, where 2 new fast ferries are on order, and they will be delivered in 2020. The Galleon Passage is anticipated to be put into service, if not today, this week. That is also welcome news. And additionally, the leasing of an additional fast ferry, and as well as the procurement of another cargo vessel to replace the current vessel that we're using. So additionally, we are constantly in discussions with the Minister of Finance as it relates to Caribbean Star. Recently, as last week, we have been putting proposals in terms of treating with the issues on the air bridge. So both Caribbean Airlines as well and the Ministry of the Division of Tourism, we are constantly in discussions in terms of treating with the air bridge. So from, you know, when you look at all points, both the air bridge and the sea bridge, we have put in place the necessary measures to treat with the challenges.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Joel Jack, for chatting with us this morning about the budget expectations and some of what you expect for the development of Tobago, especially in the tourism sector. That was Finance Secretary of the THA, Mr. Joel Jack.